as a creator, you are very well aware of certain do's and don'ts.
Good.
You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. We've seen it. Jai Shri Ram, friends. I found a little interview with the director of the new Ramayana movie, Nitesh Tiwari, on the YouTube channel Collider Interviews. I have never heard Nitesh speak, so I'm very, very curious. I do remember watching an interview with the director of Mahabharata, Narasimha, which was really, really wonderful, and you could really get a feel for where the movie came from, why there is so much love and devotion in it. And now I am curious if we will get the same feeling. From what we have seen so far, I think the Ramayana trailer was fantastic. It had everything. It made me cry, friends. So, which means there was love and devotion displayed in it. It was transmitted, and every Bhakti will have felt it. And that is the most important to focus on. Visual effects, yes, we need them. We need them to be good, for sure. But the most important is, how is the Lord portrayed? How respectful, how lovingly. Yeah. And that is what we receive. That's how we receive the blessings. Less through the visual effects, but definitely through the portrayal. And yeah, I think they nailed it so far. So fingers crossed that the rest of the movie is going to be like that. And let's check out this interview together.
A lot of people who are watching this are watching in America, and they aren't actually familiar with the characters and with this story. What do you want to tell people in America about Ramayana and these larger-than-life characters?
Ramayana is going to take you on a roller coaster ride of emotions
Yes.
in a very engaging and in a very interesting manner, which is going to be moving as well as overwhelming. Along with this, you're going to be treated with some absolutely spectacular visual stuff.
Yes.
And on top of that, a few very, very valuable life lessons.
Yes.
So there's a lot which is going to come towards the audience, and I'm quite sure that it's going to be quite an overwhelming experience and a very, very wholesome entertainment for the people.
Well, one of the things that I'm so curious about is the way you're going to balance these massive spectacle scenes, the action that audiences around the world want to see, with the small character moments of Rama and interacting with people or family, or, so can you sort of talk about how you're balancing the spectacle with the intimate?
See, at the heart, it's always the emotions. Ramayana is the story about morals, about principles, about relationships, about people, and that's what's going to remain at the core. What the visual effects and what the spectacle is going to do is going to make it look even more beautiful, even more presentable, even more engaging,
Nice,
even more, so that audience can see the same story which they have seen in the past in a completely new light. I think that is the reason why we have gone ahead with such large-scale visual presentation to show Lanka in a light in which no one has ever seen before, to show Ayodhya in a light which people have not seen before. So those are the things which we are keeping in mind to engage them with our great visuals. But at the heart, it always remains a story which is very emotional.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't care about the characters, nothing else matters.
Yeah. So that's been a big learning which I have in my career, that if people can connect with your emotions, rest all falls in place.
How have you balanced the practical sets with the completely, like, with volume technology, or with the blue screens and the green screens? Like, how much did you want to make sure was built and there for the actors to interact with?
So we have done extensive work and prep work before we went on to the set.
Nice.
Even if we were shooting a green screen, everyone from the actor to the technician to the AD team, everybody knew what exactly we were going to be shooting. The DP team knew how exactly what they were going to be framing, because all the pre-visuals, everything pre-visualization was all done beforehand. We just went in absolutely fully prepared to do all the work. And I think that is something which came in pretty handy in handling the shoot. It's been a very challenging work because we haven't really done this kind of work in the past. But a lot of previous thing which the team did, before going onto the set, a lot of storyboarding and a lot of NCAM usage also really helped us in getting there.
One of the things, this is obviously the biggest thing you've ever helmed, and the biggest project I think that's coming out of India. So what have you learned along the way that has like sort of surprised you? Because this is your first time, I believe, working with such massive visual effects and such a massive production.
Incredible.
I mean, I can't, count my blessings. There's a lot of learning which has come in the way. My biggest learning has been the way VFX is shaping the storytelling. It's giving wings and power, and it's becoming the wind beneath those wings for the directors. I was told by Namit, that you do not worry about anything. You just figure out the way you want to tell the story. I'll make it happen. And that is the kind of power, that is the kind of freedom that the technology is giving to the directors. All they need to do is think, and it can be done. It's like it's really great place to be in.
I'm going to read this one. How are you approaching the character of Ravana, played by Yash? Is he being portrayed as a traditional villain, or are you exploring the tragic complexity of his intellect and devotion?
Both.
See, Ravan had so many aspects to his life. He was a great warrior. Yeah. He was an accomplished musician, a scholar, a benevolent king, so much more, a great Shiva devotee.
Yes.
So there was so much more to him than just being one black character. Now, why it's very important for us to showcase all these bits, all these aspects of Ravan is because there's a very important lesson which is hiding in there. You can have all these great qualities, but if you are governed by vengeance and if you are driven by ego, then you know what the end result is going to be. So there's a great lesson which is hiding out there.
You are known for making characters feel deeply human and relatable. In a story about divinity, how do you balance the God aspect of Rama with the man who experiences exile, grief, and doubt?
So, we are keeping Valmiki's Ramayana as our base. Lord Rama didn't really know that he was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. But the way we are telling the story, we are letting the audience know that. And there are certain key characters in the movies who are aware of this divine aspect of Lord Ram, while Lord Ram himself is unaware of the real power which he holds. So, as the story unfolds, audience is getting the validation for believing in him, and Ram is discovering himself as he goes along the journey.
Okay.
What scene are you really most excited for audiences to see? I'm going to start with that. Is there one scene that you really have been working on in pre-production or, whatever it may be that you just cannot wait for people to see?
See, it's a very tough question to ask to a director because for a director, every scene is his favorite scene because otherwise it will not be there in the movie. Having said that, one scene I am really looking forward to watching in the theater along with the audience just to see if I have managed to capture those emotions correctly or not is when Lord Ram leaves for exile.
Oh, yes.
It's a very emotional moment. The whole of city is out there not wanting him to leave, crying along with him. I think it's a moment which is closest to me. It's something which gets me emotional every time I see it. And I really hope that it will move the audience the way it is intended to do.
Wonderful.
Something that I learned today about your movie is that you have Guy Norris working on it, who is a fantastic second unit director. Can you sort of talk about how you've been collaborating with Guy and what he is bringing to the film in terms of helping with action?
See, Guy is a very accomplished action director, and he has choreographed a few sequences for us. Again, it goes back to the prep work. I think in Ramayana, a lot of things, probably everything has boiled down to how intensively we have prepped for it. Action is no exception for it. We, again, went with the intention of briefing the previous guys with what exactly we want to achieve, what we want audience to experience out of this particular action piece. And then we made previews according to that. And then when we sat and discussed with Guy, our objective was to make him value add to the things which we had already pre-visualized, and then to figure out with him how exactly are we going to achieve this. So it was just a very collaborative kind of effort, and the results are going to be there for everyone to see.
Yeah, for people that don't realize, Guy has photographed some iconic action scenes through decades in Hollywood. He really does amazing work. You guys are. It's great that he's working with you.
This one is going to be no exception. Yeah.
I have, after seeing the footage, I am not worried. Every Indian has an internal version of the Ramayana.
True.
How do you navigate the pressure of meeting a billion different expectations while staying true to your own directorial voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, you very aptly put, there are over 300 versions of Ramayana in India.
Wow.
But, if as a creator, you are very well aware of certain do's and don'ts, you can't go wrong. And we have stuck to that. There are certain do's and there are certain don'ts, and we have stuck to them. Wherever you are not supposed to take any creative leap, we have not taken any creative leap. But wherever you can take a leap of faith, we have gone ahead and done that. And I think that is the balance we have stuck. And I'm pretty sure, I myself is an avid follower of Ramayana, and if I'm not hurting my own feelings, if I'm happy with the work which I'm doing, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the audience are going to be agreeing with me.
Good.
What was your reaction when you found out that Hans Zimmer and A.R. Rahman was going to be collaborating together to make the music of your movie?
It's the most obvious answer. I couldn't believe it.
Nice. Good. Yeah.
I'm as a fan, I just cannot wait. I love.
I mean, it's the kind of stuff you never think in your life, that you'll be doing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm going to ask my last question. I love seeing movies in movie theaters. What is your favorite movie theater that you've been to?
I normally like to go to, there are two IMAXs near my house. I mostly go to those two IMAXs to see most of the movies. But there is also one theater which I really like going to, which is right next to my house. Because most of the times, in certain movies, in certain odd movie shows, I am the only one who's sitting there and watching. And it feels like my personal home theater, so I feel like a king there.
I will not ask you to mention the theater name, so you can have your privacy. I'm just going to say I cannot wait to see your movies, plural. And thank you for giving me your time. Right. And I will have plenty of other questions once I've seen the first.
Thank you so much.
This was a lovely, lovely interview. I really like the director. I think his energy is really sweet and humble and gentle. Now, this is the only thing I've ever listened to him. This is the first time I've seen him. So I only come from what I've just learned about him. And it sounds very, very promising. He loves the Ramayana. He's a devotee himself. He does not want to insult himself, like he said, right? So if he likes it, as someone who studied the scriptures, then the chance is there's lots and lots of people out there who will love it too. And for me personally, the most promising so far is that they wrote, look at this, the poster, Our Truth, Our History. They're putting India's history out there, right? So there will be lots and lots of non-Indians watching it. Because it is the biggest movie in history, one of the biggest, they're not going to embarrass India. Why would they? So they're going to make it as beautifully and devotionally amazing as possible in order to set the record straight with so many people having this, perception of India. I think it's amazing. I think it is a great chance. I really, really hope they live up to the expectations that I too have. He said something in between that was a bit strange. I actually forgot what exactly, but it reminded me of Adi Purush. It's like Adi Purush was a disaster, an absolute disaster. So yes, it is possible to mess up a movie. It's still a complete mystery to me till this day, because there's so many people working on one movie. How can they just follow the orders and not stand up and say, this is completely wrong, this is a disaster, I'm not supporting this is not going to work, and then leave? No, I don't know. I don't know why it passed so many people's threshold of being okay. No idea. So yes, of course, another disaster can come, but what we've seen so far, even the poster itself, I don't know. I feel warmth and love and devotion when I see it. The music is amazing. Hans Zimmer, of course, unreal. Somebody said in the comment section, I read somewhere, Oscar, what was it? Oscar is waiting, or no, Oscar, something with the Oscar, but it is possible. Yeah, it is possible that they make it a masterpiece that will be celebrated throughout the whole world. Yeah. So let's focus on that. Let's pray for that. And yeah, Shri Ram, please bless this project and bless all the sentient beings. Jai Shri Ram.